It's Tuesday. Today's topic is... Stick around and find out. What's up, Universe, and welcome back to the web's first must-see comic and nerd culture show. Welcome to Comic YOUniverse, guys. I'm one of your hosts, as always, SJW'S. I'm Ron Solo on this video. And today being Tuesday, that means we're dropping a topic for you guys to discuss and contemplate. So it's Topic Tuesday, and what's today's topic? We're talking about an end of a comic book movie era, and that is the Fox Xmen franchise. Now, this film franchise ended just a few weeks ago. Possibly there is New Mutants that's still due out. Maybe it'll see the light of day, and that'll be the official end. But that being up in the air, we're going to call this the end as of right now. And I think it's pretty safe to say that most of us really don't want to see that film. We don't want to be disappointed any more than we already have been over the years. So this movie, obviously Dark Phoenix just came out a few years ago, and it did bomb, unfortunately. We did see it, we did review it, it was okay at best, and that's being very generous. But we do understand that there was a lot of problems with this film franchise. Again, it was a lot of rewrites, reshoots, coming in for last minute touch-ups. A lot was left on the cutting room floor. A first-time director on a big motion picture like this who didn't have a lot of seasoning under his belt. So though he had some passion for the project and some connections to the film, he himself didn't get to see his true vision come to light as well. And of course, you get all these Hollywood types mixing and stirring the pot, these suit and ties, if you will. And then add in the fact that Big Papa Disney came through, purchased Fox right from under you, and you know that your film franchise is doomed. So therefore, you end up in a position where your actors know that what's the point of all of this, and some of them, you can clearly see they phoned it home, knowing that this was going to be their last take on this character in this film world. So they were just like, yeah, I'm getting paid, I don't need to do much, let's move on, type of a thing. So it was quite interesting to kind of see how that all played out in the end. But this film franchise, if we're all being honest, imploded in on itself many years ago. Now, if we take a look back at all of the actual X-Men films themselves, not counting any solo runs from Wolverine and or Deadpool right off the bat, X2 is considered to be one of, if not the best X-Men film. Team-oriented, team-centric film. And it's sad and crazy to see that we went with such a high, with X2 to going into X-Men 3, Dark Phoenix, the first take on their Dark Phoenix saga, and how it just totally imploded on itself and caused most of us nerds to rage and want our money back and all kinds of craziness when that movie came. And then we got, Wolverine Origins, and we saw how terrible that was. And then, to be honest, it's the continuity of it all. They couldn't just keep it all cohesive. And it honestly just spun itself out of control, if we're just being honest. Now, there are some good highlights and some pros in all of these movies, And who knows, man, even the worst, if you will, let's say Wolverine Origins, I'm sure someone out there can look fondly back at Wolverine Origins. Who they are, I don't know. I know it wasn't me. But I know there's some people out there that probably did really enjoy that film. And I'm not here to knock on any of the films. We're long past that, and we're actually looking to greener pastures. But this is more just of a way to think back and see what could have been, what should have been, where we were in all of this. And to thank them and look fondly back, if it wasn't for this film franchise, who knows where we would be in terms of comic book movies. It's pretty safe to say that Blade and X-Men, and along following that, Spider-Man eventually, kind of built this universe that we live in, where we're able to get all of these amazing MCU films. A lot of credit goes to that, and Kevin Feige had been attached to many of those films, even in its early days. So again, if it wasn't for those films and that film franchise, who knows where we would be today. Maybe we would still be just dealing with one-shots that only dealt with single movies, if you will. Who knows? But it's just sad to see where we once were, and just to see them kind of go and to see that they were handled. And it's pretty fair to say, that at least a good portion of my life, the X-Men and anything associated with the X-Gene, if you will, has been the single most popular thing in comic books for many, many years and for a good portion of my life. So to see them to where they are now, to where they had gone so far downhill that it even kind of forced, Marvel Comics to kind of shun them to the side or try to replace them with the Inhumans and all kinds of crazy things that this film just imploding on it, this film franchise imploding on itself that, caused the hand of Marvel. And I know a lot of us get all mad and start waving our finger at Marvel for doing that. But, it makes sense, man. If you own a business and whatever you're doing is only, going to make them more money instead of you, or whatever you're doing is getting hurt, you're putting out good product, but it's becoming stale or hurt because of, the bad publicity or whatnot that you're getting from the movies, I totally understand why they were, pulling the X-Men back. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it is 100% right. But in the world of business, I think any of us would have made that decision when it's your money that's on the line, if you will, or your job that's on the line. So it's just crazy to think how far we've come from that. Now, there's a couple of things, though. I know I said I didn't want to just bash on this last film. But there was one thing in particular in that film that I also do want to touch on, okay? And it has to do with a lot of where we are in society here today. And that is the SJW high feminist movement. And I know as a single white male in the age bracket that I'm in, that Brie Larson has put me in a box, and again, this is not to attack Brie Larson, but she's the poster girl for that at the moment. So I get it right off the bat. My point of view is to a lot of people are going to be shunned, and I'm going to be called this, and I'm going to be called that, and totally understand, but just hear me out for a second. Here's what I'm trying to say. So there's a line in this past X-Men film where basically Charles and Mystique are talking, and Mystique basically tells Charles that maybe the X-Men should change their name to X-Women because the women are pulling more of the weight or doing more, and there's more women on the team, yada, yada, yada. Excuse me. And, saying pulling their own weight and doing more for the team, and that maybe they should be called X-Women. So, right off the bat, that puts a really bad taste in my mouth. Now, not that they're trying to take the word man out of something that has been around for so long and has meant so much to so many people, not just boys and men, but to female race as well. And the focus of X-Men has never been a focus on the man, okay? And it kind of irritates me when we start pulling this SJW for the sake of being SJW, okay? And just throwing it out there and saying, hey, maybe we should be called X-Women, more women empowerment. And I'm all about women empowerment. If you genuinely know me, I'm married. I love my wife dearly. I empower her. In fact, I'm picking up my life and moving to Texas basically for my wife. Okay, so, and I would never do anything to hinder her progression, if you will, or keep her from her family or anything like that. I was raised by a single mom. Okay, my aunt was in the picture for a short period of time as well. So women basically raised me. I am just the believer of where anything PC oriented, where it's trying to be politically correct and you're doing it just for the sake of being politically correct, that's not the reason for it. You need to make it genuine. You need to make it organic. And that line in that movie really put a sour taste in my mouth, that those SJWs, I think, are really missing the point, especially when it comes to the X-Men. The X-Men are the poster boy for everything that you guys, supposedly are, all for, more empowerment to homosexuality, more empowerment to women, more empowerment to colored minorities, if you will. And the X-Men are just that. They are an allegory to all of those things, okay? And to sit here and point your finger and chastise them for using the word man in X-Men, okay, the word men, if you will, is an expression of the species. We are human, but we are also titled as man, okay? And right or wrong, that's just the way that it is. And there should be no wrong to it. It's not trying to put yourself more dominant than any other female. They are all an allegory to the oppression and to being bullied, okay, from the others in the world, okay? And the X-Men themselves, myself being a huge giant nerd, okay, you know, I was made fun of for liking superheroes in comics. If I wore a superhero shirt in middle school and or parts of high school, people would point at me and laugh at me, you know, and I'm not trying to make it all about woe is me, but that's just the way that it is, and the X-Men helped me with that. Made me realize that the things that I like don't make me wrong. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be strange, okay? It's okay to have these unique abilities or unique quirks, if you will, okay, amongst ourselves, these unique talents, okay? There's no reason, okay, to feel oppressed, and they help show you that. So again, to come at the X-Men from left field and try to put in your agenda onto something that has already been focused on what you preach your agenda is just kind of just stupid to me. And again, that's really the end of the rant on that behalf, but again, that's just something to think about, that it might be a good thing that the X-Men have died and gone, because if they had kept going the way they were going, who knows, maybe X-Men would have been changed to X-Women, or something to that nature. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that, but doing it for the sake of doing it, to despite you know, the fans, or despite, you know, men in general, okay, that's just wrong. You can't make something right by attacking another person or another species or another, you know, sex or race or culture or religion. You can't make it better by doing that. So just by simply understanding more about what the X-Men stand for would have made them better. Could have made that line a lot more impactful. However, going back to what it all means, it might be just a good thing that finally it is over, and we can focus now on to where they're going to fit, and the impact they're going to make on the MCU as a whole. And I gotta say, that really excites me. That makes me really happy that we're gonna be getting that, and whether it's next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, however long it takes, I just know that the incarnation that we're going to get, in theory, okay, even though the SJW'S have found their way into the MCU, I think still in theory it'll all be handled really, really well. Because despite all the shortcomings, they're still pretty well focused on the task at hand, and that's delivering a good, solid story to everybody that can kind of speak to all races, genres, and everything. I just want to take a second to reminisce on the good parts of all of those X-Men films. All the actors have put in the good hard work. No one could ever do a better job than Patrick Stewart as Professor X. And I know a lot of people feel that way for some other characters, but personally I think that's the only character, in my opinion, that can't be replaced. And even though, you know, what's his name, McAvoy did a good job, still at the end of the day, we all know we wish we could have Patrick Stewart for more. So moving forward, I think the X-Men are in good hands. I look forward to seeing what we're going to get and who's going to play all of these characters moving forward, guys. And I just ask to everyone out there in the universe, just keep an open mind when they cast some of these people. And I know I'm you know, the pot calling the kettle black here, considering, you know, how I feel about the new Batman casting. But you're also entitled to your opinion. None of us are perfect, but just give it a moment. Let us see how it resonates. You know, Marvel has not given us a reason to question their casting, where on the other half, DC may have given us some, you know, iffy choices here and there. That might be my excuse for why I'm hating on the Batman. But again, guys, let's just, you know, keep a good positive mental attitude for what's to come, and hopefully it comes sooner rather than later, guys. So that's today's topic. Just what did the X-Men film franchise mean to you? How did it impact your life? How do you feel that it impacted Hollywood? Let us know in the comments below, guys. What did you guys think? Go ahead and give that thumbs up button if you like what we're doing. Go ahead and hit that. Give it a Hulk smash for us. Smash it like you mean it. Subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. Today is Topic Tuesday, so don't forget, if you're going to share this video, hashtag it Topic Tuesday, guys. And until next time, I'm SJW'S, and I'll see you in the universe. Peace.